I've had enough of that now.
Oh, am I on? Am I on? Am I on?
Are we on? Can you hear me?
Yes, I am.
Guten Abend. Guten Abend.
Zusammen. Willkommen Sie
Auf Wiedersehen.
And welcome to what is going to be probably the worst Oktoberfest stream you've ever seen in your life. There's going to be very little preparation. Mark's forgotten his hat already because he's a cretin.
I've got my hat. Look, I've got my hat.
It's not a proper hat, is it? Like a butcher's hat.
It's a Hofbrauhaus hat.
That's all right then. You're all right. And obviously we've got
Fat bastard.
The fat bastard down below.
That's all right. Nothing wrong with that hat.
Will be a special hat. Yeah. So just come on. We're not going to take off.
What a feather.
Mickey Pierce, 30 years time.
Mickey Pierce.
Yeah, Chris sent you that.
It's a proper hat, you know. It's only cheap, but yeah, we're not going to take it too seriously. We just thought we'd come on, have a bit of fun,
have some chocolate.
There you go.
German beer mats. German Stein.
Oh, he's a fucking idiot.
German biscuits. I'm not taking it seriously.
So what beers have you picked up, Dave?
This would be fun. I want to see this.
Well, I've picked up Spaten.
Good choice.
And a gay Roman.
And I picked up Rhinebecker Pills, and I picked up their Vice beer as well.
I have got the fridge door open.
Dave, breaking news, Dave has the fridge door open.
That's nothing wrong with that.
Well, yeah, okay.
There's a lot wrong with that. There's a lot wrong with that one.
Just say, don't show it to Mark too closely. You'll get the right arm. Patronus, I don't mind Patronus.
Never had it. Never had it.
And that one.
Oh, you got the same as me, but I've got it in a bottle.
Right.
Okay.
Ain't that what Sherlock Holmes fell off?
What did it say?
Rhinebeck Falls.
He did, yeah. No, yes, he did. He did, yes. With Moriarty.
I was thinking, what's he on about?
Yes, he did.
I'm not a massive Sherlock Holmes fan in the great scheme of things. It's not. What you got, Mark?
What's happening in the world today?
I've got those two and another 4 in the fridge.
Well, there you go then.
But I'm not drinking all because these are quite strong. These things.
Well, I've got 4 beers and we're only planning to do about an hour. About an hour, and then I've got work in the morning, so I can't get too fucking hammered.
No problem. I'll open the beer.
So yeah, I've had Spaten, but I've had the actual Oktoberfest Spaten, which I had on I did last year on the PD, I believe.
Yes, very nice on the PD as well.
I haven't got a mug. So I've got what it's called, Stein. So I'm just going to. Well, I have got a big one like that, but it's a bit wasted in there, isn't it?
This is not a Stein. This is like a pint one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we might have another guest show up. He hasn't confirmed either way.
Welsh, is he?
And we'll leave. I've left it entirely up to him because he's quite shy. So I thought
mine on the camera, so you know I'm doing it, so you're not getting mad dress.
What is that one? Let me put this on here so I can see it better.
William Andrews, hello mate, how you doing? JB's in. I had a bit of fun with JB last night. He was on Spice and Easy live stream with Sparky, the pink thing, and it looked like Sparky was getting hammered by a little bit. John saying hello to Dave. He loves your hat, Dave.
Prost. Alan Prost. That's good.
What are you drinking?
That's Hackashaw. Where am I showing it? That one, isn't it? Hackashaw. Overpriced though. Overpriced.
Well, I picked these up. These are in. I popped over to Aldi today. And these are $1.79 a bottle.
That's a steal. That's a steal. Scotland doesn't have them, unfortunately.
No,
Aldi's. I've been to two. That is really good price.
There's nothing wrong with that. Fucking banging.
Didn't they? I've not had Rhinebacker for a few years. Didn't they change the recipe and people threw an absolute hissy fit over it?
I did hear that, but I've never tried it.
How would I fucking know?
Someone called June Van Man says, "Hello, you horrible lot." Not stopping just to say hello.
June's wearing dungarees today. I like June in dungarees because when you go up behind, you can put your hands in there like that.
Great. John's drinking the Carlin and Foster's. John says, "Nice lager." Mondo Daft of a Brush says, "Afternoon, gentlemen. How are we all?
We're all right.
I'm okay. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. So
what about 10 minutes of your gold, silver, and bronze this morning, Mark?
Yes.
I watched over 4 hours tomorrow.
No, it was only 30 minutes. It was only 30 minutes.
Right, very good one again.
I'm getting distracted.
Very good gold, silver, bronze this morning. Yeah.
I struggled to find 3 stories, to be honest with you. That didn't include the budget or the royal family. It was a slow news day.
Yes.
And I didn't want to include the stuff that went on near where you live because I don't know enough about it. So I didn't want to.
What's that then?
I don't know. A little bit of argy-bargy. So I was struggling to find 3 news stories. So hence, and then I realised afterwards it's not called Google Box, is it? It's called Goggle Box. And I kept calling it Google Box.
I said, what the fuck's he on about? Google Box.
You can't get the staff these days.
I realised after I was calling it Google Box.
You need a research team like me and Scott have got.
Wanda's my research. Literally, I find very little on our channel these days. Wanda is the all-seeing eye where it comes to stuff that actually comes on our channel. She does a lot more behind the scenes than she does on the scenes these days.
Yes, that's what I've done to June. I've relegated her.
Relegated her from Premiership to League One.
I've relegated her from taking the limelight off my channel to get down there, know your place.
So the big question is, obviously I've called this the WURST Oktoberfest.
Oktoberfest, yes.
Have we picked up any food? I saw Mark's got some bits and pieces.
I got sausages in the fridge.
See, I was going to get sausages. I've actually got a small Aldi platter of smoked meat. Sausage and smoked cheese.
Okay.
I got smoked cheese.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Smoked cheese.
And I got big sausage.
Yeah, that is a big sausage. 4 of them. Yeah. I don't need to go and get my food out, do I? Because it's in the fridge.
No, not yet.
There's Bockwurst, Bratwurst, Nuremberg sausages, some cheese, and I think that's it. I think I ate the rest.
Jesus Christ, Mark's gone to town. He's bought the old of Germany.
No, I always have that in my fridge. That's always there. I always have German stuff in my
It's
fridge.
out of date.
Yeah. It's been there since the war.
It's just cheaper at the moment that Lidl had so much of it. I was getting it a lot cheaper than I normally pay for it, so it's great. But I eat that stuff like once every week, so it's always there.
I remember I've only ever been to Germany once. I went in
more than a lot of people been.
82, I think I went. When my dad was in the Falklands. 82 was the Falklands, wasn't it? Yeah. So that was when my dad was in the Falklands, and we went out there because my mum was German. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. The food out there was fantastic from what I can remember.
It was great.
Yeah, I did go to that beer festival, Mark. I won tickets and I went to Munich, Bavaria, and I met the Prince of Bavaria.
Went to this big
walk-off castle and took us in there, and loads of mullets and white socks and flip-flops.
I think I've been to that castle.
Yes. And stonewashed jeans and stuff. And
I actually was digging out some of my old pictures from my first Oktoberfest trip just before I came on here, just to see if I had any decent ones I could show, but they're so faded. And I found my stonewashed jeans, funny enough. I was wearing a pair when I was over there in '89. So I'm not showing you that picture.
I would like to go to the Sorry, I would like to actually go to the proper Oktoberfest. That would be fantastic. Obviously, the chances of us ever going, because we're on a shoestring budget here, is this. This is it.
It's actually not that expensive. The only thing that's expensive is probably the hotels at that time.
Right.
You know, but the actual beer is no dearer than you pay here. I think it's probably gone up now. And eating out, you can eat out cheap if you want to. You can eat expensive, but the hotels are the killer. It's one of the reasons I don't go anymore, because the hotels are just too expensive.
Hello, Graham. How you doing, mate? John Whittaker says that's a big glass BVM. Well, he's a big man, John. He's a big man, is Dave.
Oh, you drink out the Stein?
Yeah, when he got in my shed, I thought it was going to fall over.
Shed were going to go like
that. Luckily, I was on the other side, balancing it out. Try Stella, not today, thanks. But Dave's pork pie hat.
Pork pie hat.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Is that a Hofmeister glass that you got?
Me?
Yeah.
That glass actually comes. You can actually still get. What's that? That's a Beer Hawk one, isn't it?
Oh, Beer Hawk.
Yeah, I got it when I was working for them.
Until they cast him aside.
They blinded me dry and then kicked me to the side like an old tramp.
So before we go any further, obviously Beer Hawk, a little bit of controversy because they've just put the prices of their kegs up again.
Yeah, they did. I think Wednesday. Yeah, Paul from Rate My Beer did a live on it. So many people were not happy with that. I just jumped on to create more conversation, even though I don't have one. I was like, yeah, I'll get in there and stir things up a bit. But yeah, they've cut discounts yet again and put prices up. And
well, the whole point for me, the whole point of these machines is making it affordable to drink at home. And now they're not doing it. It's becoming just as expensive to. I mean, I haven't had a keg. The last keg I bought for that was the Life and Death, and that cost me 40 quid. I mean, people were saying, "Well, buy your 3 and get your 50." I'm like, I can't afford to buy 3. So it's all well and good saying go and buy your 3. Yeah. You can if you can afford to go and get them. I can't. Yeah. So it's either that or one that doesn't eat for a week.
Yeah, I think they what they did was lockdown. Obviously, everybody went and bought one because you couldn't go to the pub. Prices were nice and reasonable. And then as soon as that had finished, they've got you. You're part of the system. Now we're it up slowly, and people would rather it not gather dust, so they keep buying them.
Yep.
But some people will say, you know.
Yeah, I haven't bought one for ages. I'll probably get a couple for Christmas, but. No, I ain't fallen into that trap. So
it's bloody expensive, isn't it? I mean, I had this chat, and I know Mark disagreed with. So, and that's we were having this chat last night on your live stream, Mark. That you never. The whole point of conversation is you're not always going to agree with everything that's said, as long as you're constructive in the things that come back. Now, me and Dean, we did a review of Love and Hate last week on his channel. I turned the camera off, recorded a whole thing about the beer industry, the price of malts about to go through the roof. Obviously, they're going to have to heat because they're boiling all the time and things like that. And I think what would have caused a little bit of a fuss was if I said that if your favourite brewery was faced with extinction or being bought out or invested in by a big brewer, I'd be okay with that.
You did, yes.
And I stand by that as long as the beer, and I didn't get I was saying the IP, that wasn't what I was on about. I was on about the whole I had the word in my head again, it keeps going. It's like the whole soul of the brewery stays the same. As long as the soul of that brewery stays the same and the beer stays the same, I don't have an issue with it.
No, that's fair enough. I think I was more getting at if it was some real dodgy bunch,
Yeah, but then
I mean,
we can
there
say
isn't
that
really-
about football clubs as well.
Oh, well, yeah. Don't get me started.
Don't get Dave started. He'll turn
But
green
bear
like the
with me
whole.
one moment, and I'll tell you a little secret.
So
about-
Graham, Mondo Darster of Russia said, embarrassed to say, slurping a golden opportunity craft ale from Home Bargains, it will make a piss.
Okay. Talking of your saying about breweries being bought out and all that,
Yeah.
I mean, the one thing about German breweries is most of them are protected under the, I always forget the name of that 500-odd year law.
The
But
Rheinhofgebot.
that's the one. But a lot of people don't always realise that InBev own Spartan, Lowenbrau, and Frankie. You know, Frankie Sarah.
They do.
Heineken have a 49% stake in Paulaner and Hackeshaw, the one I'm drinking. 49%, so virtually own half of it. The only one really that's really independent is Augustiner, been in two families since 1400 whatever, and HB is owned by the German state. So there really isn't a big six. It's more like just a big three.
Yeah.
But, you know, so it goes on everywhere.
I mean,
And
I've never professed to.
That was my research. That's all.
I was going to say.
That was my research.
I thought you were reeling that off the top of your head, Mark. To be fair,
I sort of knew it, but I thought I better get the exact figures because otherwise someone might come back and say, "No, you're wrong."
It's difficult, isn't it? I've never professed to be a fountain of all knowledge. I know what I like, and I like what I know. German beer, I've never been really into. I've got more into it over the last couple of years. I don't review a great deal of it because I don't drink enough of it.
No, that's fair enough.
Yeah, I like German beer. Since I did do that little stint for Beer Rock and I was drinking all the foreign beers, the German beer's far better than, unless it's Madre, it's far better.
Yeah, the well-known Spanish beer, Madri, brewed in Burton-upon-Trent.
I am going to have to go to Spain in time, drink Madri to see what it's
Can I have a pint of Madri? I want it fresh from your well.
and they probably say we never heard of it.
Yeah, they probably will. A bit like Castlemaine, isn't it? The Aussies, they never drink that shit, do they?
And the French and Le Pied d'Or back in the day.
Yeah.
I went to France and asked for it. They never heard of it.
Someone asked, I'll flick through the comments. We won't sort of comment on all of them because it'll take fucking hours. Someone asked if you saw the football last night and what did you think of it? Or on Friday or whenever it was. It was crap.
I didn't watch it. I'm fucking done with it. Until Southgate's gone, get out. I'm not really interested.
Sauerkraut. No, I'm just an unhappy German.
What did he say about sauerkraut?
Sauerkraut, anyone. It's because they were eating sauerkraut on the Spice and Easy. I say it's not sauerkraut. It's just an unhappy German.
Oh, I love sauerkraut.
I don't mind sauerkraut. I'm not a lover of sort of cabbage and that, but I don't mind sauerkraut. It's quite nice. Dave, any opinions on sauerkraut?
No.
No, nothing. No. Absolutely nothing. This is me, Luke John's in. Hello, mate. This is me having nightmares for the next month. BVM looking great as always. As for the other two, room for improvement.
I saw that comment earlier.
Probably my life, mate, to be fair, if I'm honest. Scott's hat looks like a fishmonger's one in Mozzers.
He does, doesn't he? He looks like that Portsmouth fan and all, doesn't he? That.
Oh, I'm fucking taking it off.
The guy with all the tattoos and everything.
Yeah, he ain't had a wash for about 7 years. John Westwood.
That's salmon, isn't it?
He's a nice bloke, is John Westwood. Very, you wouldn't believe it, but he actually owns a bookshop, or he used to own a bookshop up in Petersfield. Very well-read man. Just looks an absolute mess.
Yeah.
And keeps getting thrown out of stadiums for pissing on the seats.
Okay.
Hello. Toodle. I'll show you.
Sausages.
I'll show you Hugo, but currently he's asleep, so we've been watching videos today, me and Leah, because Hugo's a Vizsla, Hungarian Vizsla. We've been watching videos for about an hour about a couple's first 4 or 5 weeks with a Vizsla, and it's hilarious because it's exactly as his Hugo does. Apart from this dog apparently screams. It screams when it's left alone or done anything. It screams. They didn't show the screaming. I just wanted to see this dog screaming because I thought it'd be hilarious.
You should call him Granville then if he's Hungarian.
Yeah, but that'd be lost on Leah. She wanted to call him Zero after the dog in Nightmare Before Christmas. But I'm like, Hugo really does suit him. Anybody that hasn't seen Hugo, if you pop over to our community tab, I've taken a picture of Hugo today, sat in Wanda's seat in the shed and posted it for everyone to see.
John Whittaker's asking for the lurcher. He's asleep in there. But he'll keep popping up now and again.
My cheap king. Drink less, more chat. Drink more, less chat.
Okay. Let's keep sticking to the thing.
I've got to be honest, that's the first time I've had Spaten. Just the normal Spaten.
Yeah.
And that is lovely.
Yeah, it's all right, isn't it? I've had it quite a few times.
Spartan.
It's not. I Googled it and it's actually pronounced Spaten. Mark's going to disagree.
I don't want to disagree. If you're live,
you can see the steam. You can see the steam building in his ears.
You're live. You can say what you want.
How about this?
I was always led to believe it's Spartan, and you don't pronounce the thing.
I wanted to get it right, so I've looked on something called YouTube.
Oh, good old YouTube, yeah.
I don't know. I think some people pronounce it Spaten, some Spaten, some Spartan. It's fucking all over the place, isn't it? It's whatever it is. It's a lovely beer. I'll give it that.
There's someone from
so we can all agree it's a lovely beer.
Lovely beer, however you pronounce it.
Yeah,
16 names.
It was the first beer I ever drank.
Was it really?
Yeah, and at the Oktoberfest, it was the first tent we went in, and I had that, and I walked out with a stein, and I kept that stein for like 15 years until somebody bloody broke it. So,
I forgot I had this beer, this glass.
Oh, okay. I couldn't say. My screen's so small. On there.
There's Scots beer on it.
Scots beer. Okay. Nice. Did you get that put on, or did it just random Scott?
Can't remember.
The bloke called Keith.
Yeah, I nicked it. Nicked it off some bloke called Scott. Lucky, really. He had the same name, if you're honest.
What is Mr. Scott Beer?
Yeah, but that's his name, yeah, Scott Beer.
Scott Beer.
Quite lucky, really.
Yeah.
If I could find one called Scott and Wanda's World, that'd be even fucking better because I wouldn't have to pay for it.
I nicked that from some bloke called West.
Well, so
I was waiting for you to say that. That's why I said it. Not Fred, no. It was his wife. No, they're up the road. They're up the road, actually, West Brewery. You don't see much of them in supermarkets now.
Did you see, going back, I know it's a slight change of subject. There was a football club, I don't know if me and you and Chris discussed this, where they got into a bit of trouble with the name of their stand.
Yeah.
Where they called it something to do with Rose West Stand.
It was like partners, weren't it, in a solicitor saying like John and Rose West Stand. It was
and they got
stand.
into a bit of bother about it.
It's been all right.
It was fucking brilliant.
I think it was Southend. Southend, that was.
Southend, yeah. I couldn't remember who it was.
No, I just Googled it. I cheated.
Bastard. So, thought he was being. Do you know what I don't like about Mark? He comes across as all intellectual. He's just sat there Googling stuff.
No, I'm wired into AI, so I just have all the stuff beamed into me.
You are. I'm going to start calling you mainframe.
Mainframe, yeah, I do. I get called a lot worse. I've been called a lot worse, you know.
To be fair, so have I, made to be fair. Mainly in this house, if I'm honest. I have to agree regarding buyouts. Look, what Asahi done for Fuller's. Exactly.
What's that? Fuller's?
Well, Asahi, they didn't touch Fuller's. It's in my mind that when Asahi took Fuller's over, they took the logistics of bricks and mortar side of it rather than interfere with the brewing.
That's what Hong Kong thing done with Green King, I think, as well.
Yeah.
Bricks and mortar, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even know Asahi bought the Fuller's. That's something I didn't know.
Yeah, that's a little while. That's got to be 2-3 years back now, I think, something like that.
Okay.
Porky's Biker Life. Never knew this. I thought German beers were mostly independent.
There are still a lot, but because the Oktoberfest is such well known and these beers are so well known, they can export them all around the world. And you know what InBev and all the others are like? They go around the whole world buying up all the main beer from every country, so they can just have the mass market. And then they make $36 billion profit last year.
Well, I think they'll be buying a lot more this probably before the middle of next year as well. I think a fair few breweries may well be swallowed up by InBev.
Sounds a bit like Man City going around buying all the players up.
Sorry to interrupt. That's a good independent. It's done by the monks. I think they're monks in Germany.
Right.
But but there are loads of independent ones. But there are loads of not.
So John Whittaker asks, and this is probably one for you, Mark, is what is Oktoberfest?
What is Oktoberfest? Oh yeah, I was going to do a video on that, but then I decided not to because I just got so much grief from certain
clues in the title.
Yes.
Well, it's not actually. It actually starts on the 17th of September, so it doesn't actually equate to October.
No, it did originally, but they moved it because of the weather, basically,
right.
So they could. It's basically there was some prince or king back in the 1800s to celebrate him getting married to somebody else. So they had a festival, and it just carried on, and then, as I say, it just got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and it wasn't always what it is today. Because the beer has changed as well. The original Oktoberfest beer, which I do know because someone told me years ago, was Dunkel.
Yeah.
That was the original Oktoberfest beer. But over the years, it's just got lighter and lighter and stuff. But if you look at this one, they still brew to the sort of Marzen darker. But if you have like Spartan or Spaten or Paulaner, they tend to there's more sort of like lagery, hellish, lighter colour.
Okay.
And I think it was after the war, then it really became massively massive with the fair got bigger and stuff. Second World War. Because obviously they needed to cheer everybody up and rebuild everything. And Munich was like the heartland of a lot of the Nazis and all that stuff. So, but even since I last been, it is now, they used to literally be about 8 or 9 tents. I think there's somewhere in the region of 16 tents now.
I must admit, when I went to that one, it was absolutely massive. It was a really good thing. And there were food. If I was a YouTuber then, fucking hell.
Yeah. What do you remember what time of year it was when you went? Was it spring?
I think it was about September time because I think the football were on and Greavesy couldn't play football that weekend.
Oh, then it probably was the Oktoberfest, I should imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they have the Spring Fest, which is normally second or third week in April, which goes on for about 10 days, which is a really smaller version of the same thing, but obviously with a different beer. And then you have obviously the main one, which is September the 17th, about first Saturday or Sunday in October.
Yeah,
which I think, and that's the main one. But I think they have like 16 tents now, and that's just got bigger and bigger over the years. The fair's got bigger and bigger. I mean, when I first went, it blew me away because I'd never seen anything like it.
Yeah,
and I think if I was to go back now, after probably I haven't been for like 8 or 9 years, it would even be bigger still. And I'd be like, wow. It's a lot harder to get in now because everyone's sort of sitting down by 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So. And you
fucking hell, I'll sit there by about 10 o'clock in the morning.
Well, that's what you need to do. If you want to go on the weekend, you really need to be in there by midday, but don't expect us to be still in there by 9 in the evening because you'll be way gone.
So I'm tempted. Staggeringly Good have got a called Hop. They've called it Hoptoberfest.
I saw it on their website.
Yeah, and for your 20 quid each, you get bratwurst, you get your first beer, and you get a stein as well. I don't think that's bad for 20 quid.
No, because they've got to cover their overheads and stuff. So.
Yeah, and their thing upstairs is massive. So we might end up there next Saturday. Might well do. I'll video it.
Go and rinse the glass.
Go rinse your glass, Dave.
If you can afford to go, you should go, because it's. I mean, I know I put them down on YouTube and stuff, but we've got one in Glasgow, Bavaria House. It's based on the Otto Hofbräu House. I think the people who went to Germany saw it and thought we're going to build one in Glasgow. Yeah. And I've never been in it because I've always stuck my nose up at it. But they got Oktoberfest starting, I think, next week, and I wouldn't mind trying a couple of the beers on draft. So I'm thinking of just nipping in and trying a couple on draft. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, we've got one in Portsmouth Guildhall as well, but I think I'd rather go to the staggeringly good one and support them as a brewery. People I get on well with, I like, than just the council in general.
Well, are they brewing a Helles beer or something for it? Are
they? They've got their beer basol that I've already reviewed. It's obviously it's slightly different from a Helles. It's not clear for a start, so it's an unfiltered Helles, but it's nice. I liked it.
Yeah. I had Cloudwaters last year. They did it with Sadler's Cat, and the Dunkel was quite nice, and the Helles was nice. They did another one which wasn't so good, but if they do it right, it's all right. It doesn't have to be exact.
No. JB says Northern Southern Beer Reviews. If you don't sub to JB, don't give him some love. He's been around for donkey's years, and he's a decent man. He's put you can't get a better beer at the moment than that Spaten Spaten Spaten. Benjamin said, "Is this the new pyramid?" No, no. I think Chris is
never was the fucking pyramid.
No, there never was one.
I'm David Fairclough, super sub.
So Chris was invited. His exact words to me and Dave were, "I know fuck all about beer, so it'd be wasted on me."
And I said, "There's no argument from me."
Absolutely.
I told Chris yesterday, you not drink some shit beer on his when he was drinking that Nuki Brown. I put in the comments, you not drink some shit beer on his video. But I put a little smiley face after it, so I hope he took it in jest.
Chris takes mates. I don't think Chris, from what we know of Chris, he doesn't take anything particularly personally from what we can see anyway.
We keep fucking trying.
Oh yeah, we keep trying to attack him, but he just doesn't take anything.
Well, I said to the Stella, because at least Stella is okay, I suppose, but Nuki Brown, I mean, blind.
Well, even Stella's not great, is it? I'll tell you what I've picked up today. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to try it because it is the worst beer I've ever reviewed on our channel. Twice as nice. And I was in Aldi, did some shopping, picking these beers up, and I was like, "Oh, what's that can with? It's back to me." And they've rebranded Twice as Nice. And I'm like, I'm picking that up because it's the only beer I've ever reviewed. And then I've done another review after it. And it had angered me that much, I had to turn the camera back on and have another go at it.
I remember, yeah. I've seen your little thing on the
camera. Yeah, so I'm going to probably do that tomorrow. But yeah, I'm going to go to John Whittaker. BVM, Sack. He calls him Brendan. You call him Brenda.
He does call him Brenda.
If I was in charge, I would sack Brenda, but I'm not. So unfortunately, I fucking can't.
I liked your video you did the other day. You were very very calm. You didn't swear
about both sides as well, didn't I? I tried to both sides.
Didn't swear. I was listening to it as I was driving. You weren't swearing. You were very fair in your assessment. I don't agree with everything you said. To be fair, I think
that's why Leicester Fan TV want me on because I didn't swear.
So you're going on Leicester Fan TV tomorrow night. So your channel will be down Tuesday, Wednesday.
There's mine. Mine won't.
Is that Leicester Fan TV YouTube? Is it so we can see it? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just type Leicester Fan TV and you'll see a bloke with glasses and called Phil, and I'll be on there about 7:30.
Right, I shall watch that.
JB said there's a Spring Fest apparently.
Yes, there is. I've been to it a couple of times. Yeah, it's a watered down version of the Oktoberfest, basically, with the beer brewed especially for the spring.
While you two lightweights are fucking behind, I'm having another one.
I'm on my second one, you fucking arsehole.
Why didn't you fucking tell me? I've been waiting.
I'm still on this one.
I've opened up the Rhinebacker. It's not as good as a Smarter Spaten.
Is that the festival?
Fucking head on that.
Which beer are you drinking, Dave? Is that the little
beer? You're asking him. He hasn't got a fucking clue, has he? You might as well ask the bloke at the window.
Is that Wanda on the front?
Oh no, it's the Fest beer. That's
I said that in the video. It's Wanda.
yeah. That isn't as bad as the wheat beer, the Fest one. I have to be
Don't
honest.
get him
I
started.
didn't think the other one,
Don't get him
Yeah.
started. Don't get him started
Yeah.
on the fucking wheat beer, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
Well, I've got work tomorrow.
Well, was it Northern Southern beer reviews? If you think I was bad, you should see his reviews on the Aldi beers. You seen his review on the Aldi one?
I've seen JB's videos of the Aldi beers. I thought it
Yeah.
was very, very constructive.
There you go. So I was very calm on mine compared to that.
Listen, I don't listen. I want to clear something up. I completely agree with Jonathan's assessment of those beers, but I went into both of those reviews with the sole purpose of not losing my mind. I didn't want to just sit and slate them. I just have a bit of fun with them. I didn't disagree with anything he said. They were both crap, but for the money mark, they were all right.
I honestly don't know with the Aldi because I can't get them to try them.
Oh, just don't bother.
I'm not going to anyway, but they don't exist in Glasgow. So,
but yeah, I don't disagree with a word he said. I like JB. I've got a lot of time for him. He's a very good beer reviewer. But yeah, whatever. That's all right. The Fest beer.
Yeah, that's
149.
Something like that. 125, 115, 125.
No, 149 in Scotland.
Yeah, but you got Jimmy Cranky governing your rules.
20p on the old. Yeah, 20p on the tax.
Fucking nosy.
JB says, how hard is it to book a table in one of the tents? Is there a waiting list or a time slot?
If you can read German, you can go directly onto their websites and do it quite easy. How much they cost now, I don't know. We never did because, I mean, the last time I went, was 7 years ago. And before that, I used to go pre-internet. So we just turned up and we always got in because I worked out very quickly. If you sat down by 4 PM, you got in. But if you can navigate German, go straight on their websites. You can book yourself a table and stuff, and you won't get the whole table. You just get whatever seats you want. But if not, you can go onto some of these sites where they charge you and they do it all for you and stuff, and you pay like a fee for that as well.
I cannot wait. This is going to be probably the highlight of mine and Wanda's channel this year. I cannot wait to put this comment on the screen and read it out. Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Sean Kelly says that Fest beer from Lidl is out of this world. It's probably the best German beer he's ever had.
I was going to just
really good.
I was ready for Mark to go fucking nuclear.
The Fest. I mean, if he'd have said the wheat beer, I would have just said goodnight and gone to bed. But he said the Fest one. I mean, how many has he had? That's the thing, Sean. How many
is he saying it's value for money though? Is that what he means?
Don't fucking say that to Mark. He'll have an attack.
No,
he'll have a little attack.
But I stand by my comments on those little beers. I talk so much stick.
What I know, at the end of the day, I did the little beers after watching your thing, obviously, and I had some gentle digs at your comments as well.
No, I like that. I liked your things. I actually thought they were funny. But the thing is, if you go over to Paul on Rate My Beer, he drinks a lot of German beer, and he's been to more recently than I have, and he's been in the brewery tap rooms and he's done tours. And he's another, and he hasn't got any German blood. So I would say people go and ask Paul because he knows quite a lot about current. Been there very recent, twice this year, and he'll tell you the same as I will that little beer, if you stack it up with other German wheat beers, not the Fest one, the wheat one, is rubbish. You wouldn't give it the time of day. But if you've never had a wheat beer before and it's the first one you're ever trying, and you don't want to spend a lot of money, maybe you might think it's a good beer. But then the minute you go and try something like that, that will blow your head off. You'll be like, well, blimey, I thought that wheat beer was good. This one's like the Rolls Royce of wheat beers. That's the point I was trying to get across in my clumsy way. But
the problem, and we all know this. The three of us here. You sometimes you try and say something in a constructive way. You turn the camera off, and you think, oh, I could have said that differently?
Yes, 100%. Yes. But also, I did get wound up a bit by some of the people who would review them. If I'm being truthfully honest as well.
Sam Smalley. Anyway, Sam Smalley out in Australia. How you doing, buddy? Hope you're keeping well, mate. This is a guy you need to do a collab with, Dave. Mr. Stella Boxhead, the lovely Darren. He used to be called Sega Socks. He's got his perfect draft machine. He does all sorts of camping stuff as well. And I think he's fucking a couple of miles from you. I'd love to see a collab with you and Mr. Stella Boxhead. It'd be brilliant.
Okay, we'll have to see. We'll have to see what can be done.
Nice guy is Darren.
Yeah, I subscribe to Stella Boxing.
And he does some good sort of little gaming streams as well. His gaming streams are on a Sunday morning on that. It's really nice, easy watching, and just a nice guy. I've just got the Spaten Oktoberfest beer open, and it's lovely.
You know, I've got that next. That's the one I'm having next very shortly.
Okay.
I've not tried it this year, so.
Sid says, just checking, Dave, what channel are you on tomorrow at 7:30?
It is Leicester Fan TV.
I don't know if we've got any mods. If we've got mods in, if we can stick on Leicester Fan TV, they're going to need us. But I've actually found a really good Pompey YouTube channel, and it's called 4-0 written all over it. And it's been going for about 7 years. I've only come across it quite recently. There's a young lad and his dad, I think. They go around all the Pompey games and quite well known within the camp. They get to interview the manager and all that. So if you're into sort of just anything to do with football, go and give 4-0 written all over it a sub as well, because it's a great little channel. Oh, you've already answered that, Dave. I'm fucking well behind now. Only 10 minutes behind. We're doing all right. Worst, John Whittaker says the worst beer is Kronenberg. No, it's not. It's twice as nice.
Or Stella Unfiltered in bottle.
Or Stella, yeah, I didn't like that. I'll to be fair. Rebrand twice as nice. Quality beverage, Scott. I'm dreading that, but I'm gonna have some fun with that. I'll do that tomorrow. Where can I buy the Spaten beer? That's in Aldi at the moment, but not at the beer bit. It's in the fucking jumble sale bit in the middle. There's also, I know you couldn't find it, I don't think, Dave, because I messaged you saying pick Spaten up and you couldn't find it.
Fucking weren't there, that's why.
Yeah, you need fucking better glasses, mate, I reckon.
It's not in mine either. I've looked at two of them.
Fuckers at the end of my eyes.
I'll tell you what. I tell you, it's like what did I saw a comment. I don't think it's, I've got my other laptop pad down here. I'm keeping an eye for knobheads.
Here.
Oh, yeah, apart from you two, obviously. Thomas says Wanda's better looking than you two. Well, that's not hard, is it?
That's good.
What can't you eat?
Good, Ed.
Nice beard, apparently. So people that have been commenting, I'm going to do something very shortly. There's a reason that I'm not shaving and I'm not growing my hair, and we'll come to that.
Are you going for a bullet to take for your mum's memory?
I am. You've given the fucking game away now, mate, haven't you? It was such a. I would love to release a video of saving my mum, but Wanda has insisted I'm not allowed to. I think you saw most of it. I know Chris saw most of it. I don't know if Mark's seen it.
No, I've not even heard of it.
I'll have to send you the link. It's a private video that we recorded. I don't know, 18 months ago. Yeah. Lidl beer are fantastic. Well, they're better than Aldi's. Can I block? He wants to block Sean Kelly.
Has he come back, Sean Kelly, with any comment?
No, he was just. I don't think so.
Okay, that's a shame.
So John Whittaker says he wants more budget cooking, Dave.
Yeah, we've finished with that, but we have got more cooking to come. We will do the odd thing, but the budget cooking things, yeah, it gets boring, doesn't it? I don't like to keep doing stuff too often. So
I'm like you. I like to change things up a little bit and sort of come up with new ideas and sort of new things. If I'm interested and keeping things interested, hopefully everyone else. I don't want to keep doing the same thing all the time.
no, I don't. I
That's
like
the thing.
dressing it up and being, I don't know, original, different and stuff. So if you notice, I've stopped doing my newspaper reviews as well. I'm not doing them so I could have got myself into trouble with them, especially with the way the world is at the moment. So, yeah.
You can't. Obviously, I've got a job. I've got to be very careful with the things I say. Work knows about my channel, but I have to be very careful. I don't promote the job I do because they're two completely separate things. But I have to be very careful, as Wanda does with her job, that we don't cross the line and bring trouble that could get in trouble.
I got dragged into a meeting once. It was on about we'd just been took over by this new fucking lot of fucking idiots, and somebody said something and then said, "Oh, that's knackered your YouTube." She goes, "Oh, have you got a YouTube channel?" I says, "Yes." Yeah. How far can I go with YouTube and saying things? She goes, "Well, don't say something on YouTube that you wouldn't say to your family."
Oh, fucking hell, that's you out.
What a fucking stupid thing to say. I went, "What? That don't mean nothing to me."
Well, that's a Dave press on regardless, isn't it?
Of course it is. They're fucking idiots. If they heard half the stuff I say about Jimmy Savile, fuck it out.
I think that's what's not. It's what's nice about Mark's channel. I watch a lot of Mark. I don't comment on him. I watch a lot of YouTube. I don't.
I'll comment straight to Mark instead of on his channel.
Yeah, exactly. I watch a lot of YouTube. Drives Wanda nuts. I don't comment on a lot because I don't want to draw attention. It's like Dave said before. Like sometimes you get accused of trying to hoover up subscribers, or things like that. So I watch. I don't always comment. I just like watching things. To be fair,
yeah, I know. I'm the same. I watch a lot of Beard Meets Food. But
Adam's fantastic. He's fucking brilliant.
I left a couple of comments on there once, and like, "Oh, you're just trying to get subs," and I've got no. I'm just trying to say. So in the end, I thought, fuck it, it's no point in doing it.
I just comment on everybody.
It's horses for courses, isn't it?
I've not been accused of getting subs. I get accused of clickbait on my videos, but not when I comment about trying to get subs.
No wrong with clickbait, mate. No wrong with clickbait. It's what half media do anyway.
Well, Mark didn't know what I did for a job till I was talking to him the other day. He thought it was a lorry driver.
Yeah. So I presume maybe you was a lorry driver. Yeah.
You know, it's and I try for me, what we do here, especially with me and Wanda with jobs, what I do here is completely separate to my actual proper life. You know, I like having that sort of little bit of separation from it. Latic Man Mark says, "Hi guys, I'm trying to forget about the football. Have you seen how bad my team are doing?" No, Taking My Older aren't doing very well at the moment.
They got rid of the manager, didn't they? Got another guy now.
I've started watching. Can you? And you can have a hot dog in charge, mate. To be fair, we do better than Brenda.
Fuck's sake!
I've been watching that. Welcome to Wrexham. The Ryan Reynolds. I've quite enjoyed that. Have you watched it, Mark?
No, I can't stand Ryan Reynolds.
You don't like Deadpool?
No.
Sorry,
I know.
Get rid of him.
Sorry, I've watched Deadpool and the second one, so I have seen it. But no, I don't like. I don't like the fact that it's quite rude, isn't it? And there's a lot of swearing and sort of adult humor, and I just think those movies should just be family fun. And I think they try too hard.
But Deadpool's although he's a Marvel character, the movie is
Based on the comic. Yeah.
a depiction of that was him in the comics. And
Yeah.
actually, I'm not a massive Ryan Reynolds fan, but I think he plays that character very well. And also the guy that's in it with him, this Wrexham thing, Rob McKennery, I think his name is, something like that.
I've not heard of it.
No one has. But the actual program and their breakdown of how they came to Wrexham, what they're doing, it's really worth. If you've got, and I think you've got Disney because you've watched Andor, they don't like it, so I'm gonna have to kick you out again in a second. I'm really sorry, but it's a good series.
Can I just ask why did they buy Wrexham? Did they tell you why they decided to buy Wrexham?
They bought Wrexham, so it's got the oldest stadium in the world,
Racecourse ground.
Racehorse ground, and there was something about it that reminded. I think that Rob's a Philadelphia Eagles fan, and something resonated with him. They obviously found him.
Do you compare Wrexham with fucking Philadelphia?
They're one of the first clubs to drop down through the whole of the fucking football pyramid, and end up where they're at. And something resonated with them, where they're just a working class town like Philadelphia, and for some reason they've invested in Wrexham, and it is a really good watch.
Okay, all right. Maybe I will watch it then. Maybe I will.
I did a Deadpool at work, you know.
Yeah, that's something completely different.
I did a raffle. I had 50 names of celebrities, and we put I think it was £5 £2 a ticket or something like that. And Steve Foreman won about 60 quid on Big Daddy dying.
Well, any bloke with a name called Shirley really needs to be.
Deadpool, right? Yeah, Deadpool.
Mark's just got it.
On that one
I've
as
just
well.
got it. Yeah.
John Corey's going, David, you cannot do this. It is not very good taste. I says, well, I've sold all the tickets now, John. There's nothing I can do about it.
And also, I've made a lot of money. Fuck off.
Well, you just picked 50 people that you thought might die soon and put their names in and then the first person who did die from that list won.
It's only like a raffle, isn't it?
And it was Big Daddy from the old wrestling.
Yeah.
Shirley Crabtree.
How did you come up with the 50 names? Did you just look at old people?
Yeah, there was Sean Connery, Roger Moore, the Queen. See, that was fucking 30 odd year ago. So, like, the Queen was in it, the Duke, Paul Daniels. All the,
That's magic.
It was.
Now then.
It was for Steve Foreman. Who was Steve Foreman?
So
I'd just like to say good evening to the northern correspondent for Scott and Wanda's channel, the lovely David Thompson, who, along with Wanda, actually sends me quite a lot of stuff to review, or not review, but information for stuff. So, David, hope you're doing all right, mate.
Fake Germans? What's he talking about?
Fake Germans.
I'm half.
I'm a quarter. Yeah, I'm not.
I'm half.
I'm not going to.
The Queen is nothing, according to your podcast the other day. She's not German at all.
Whose podcast?
Chris.
Yeah, I watched it from start to finish, and I didn't know because everyone used to say, "Oh, the Queen's family's German."
You
have to go.
You've got to go right back.
Yeah,
if you go miles back, there is, but it's the Queen.
A long way back, though, isn't it?
Yeah. So let's
really,
face it, you've only got to breathe English air nowadays, and you get a fucking passport. So
I'm not saying anything. I live in Scotland, so I've got to be careful what I say.
Well, British one then. You get a red passport.
We pay more tax here now, so yeah. Apparently.
Come over on a dinghy and throw your fucking papers in the channel. You get a passport. Happy days.
Well, I think everyone's going to be going that way soon after the tax brackets now. If you can earn good money, you're not going to want to earn it in Scotland, are you? Not after the other day. So
Sid Cannon's trying to upset you, Dave. He's saying Leicester and England should swap managers.
Well, they may as well. Why don't they just do a joint job on each fucking team? Because they're both useless.
Yeah, okay.
So I put a comment on your video the other day, Dave, about Leicester, saying, "Huh? Yeah, I'm going to tell you."
I'll shut up.
Along the lines of, for me, I've always seen Leicester as a. And Pompey had quite a rivalry with Leicester at one point. They were when we got promoted the same year when Harry Redknapp was in charge, and you came second to us. So we've always had quite, and obviously you had Ian Ormondroyd scoring an offside goal in a playoff game, but we won't go there. Leicester, for me, have always been a team that are top Championship, middle to lower Premiership team. Okay, overachieved for probably 3 or 4 years. Won the Premiership with Ranieri, and obviously they stayed around that area. And for me, obviously, with football being cyclical, are probably just returning to that bit where they're a bit of an up and down team. Yo-yo.
The thing is, it's like I said in the video. King Power have took a massive hit over COVID.
Yeah.
And, you know, from earning 2,760 million euros or whatever, now to earning 900, plus their investments in other parts of the world as well. When you look at it, football's got to take a back burner. Football isn't as important as the other stuff that they're doing. You know, and I said, like, the team they've got in Belgium, you know, they've not spent any money there. They've spent £900,000 and then about 9 players on loan or free transfers. I can see what Leicester fans are saying, but, you know, football isn't the be all and end all. So
no.
It is.
I mean, we share a chairman actually in Milan
Williams.
I don't know how he did for you actually.
He did well. He sold us to these fucking Thailand lot.
Well, that's right. He made his money then.
Yeah, he did. Fair play to him. And I think really we should actually have some kind of plaque or brick in the wall thanking Milan Mandrić for what he did, because none of what has happened in the past 7 years or so under these under Top and Vijay would have happened if it weren't for him selling it to these people. So, you know, I think we should actually give him some kind of credit for what he did.
I liked Milan Mandrić. He was ruthless, but a nice man.
Yeah.
I actually bumped into him. He stopped me. I was working over him about 5-10 miles away from me, and he beeped his horn and asked me for directions somewhere. Very, very polite, just a genuinely nice guy.
Oi, wanker!
That's what he said. But yeah, I thought. I mean, obviously he rescued Pompey from the scrap heap, and then sold us to the Russian gun runner, and that's where it all went south. And then we found the only Arab in the world with no money, and it just kept getting worse from there. To be fair, and then we had a guy with no money, a guy that we didn't know actually existed or not. It was just a comical, and then we just plummeted down the whole of the league.
I'm going to go and rinse my glass.
Harry Redknapp's fish. I always remember that, didn't they? He ordered a load of fish when you were bankrupt, and it turned out that Harry Redknapp had all these fish in his room, in his manager's office. It was like, why did he need them? Their club had no money, and yet he's paying out for loads of bloody fish.
Well, he
good old Harry.
It's really hard with Harry because he gave us
some success.
A lot of success. Obviously, Harry's heroes, Harry's All Stars, they won the championship. I'd say we topped Leicester that year. With how he pulled Paul Merson to come and play for Pompey, a half-fit man.
Well, it weren't hard, were it? Just bought him a fucking keg of beer.
Yeah, and give him some gambling notes, but
he gave him some Bet365 accounts.
Yeah, but I mean that guy that year was absolutely phenomenal in that league. I mean, Paul Merson, what a talent that man! And we had Svetoslav Todorov in front of him, who I remember the first game he played, and my dear old dad, who I didn't get on very well with. I went to a Pompey game with him. It was the first Todorov's first game. And he missed an absolute fucking sitter. And my dad said, "Who the hell is that?" And then ended up scoring like 30 goals the next season. He was fucking brilliant for us. So Harry Redknapp, and then obviously he went off to Southampton, got them relegated, so job done, and then came back to us.
Came back, yeah. I mean, the fact that he went to Southampton showed that he didn't care.
Well, he actually did a podcast. JB, if you're still watching, he did a podcast with Joe Cole. I think it was last week or the week before. Well worth watching, because whether you like Harry Redknapp or not, the man has an amazing personality.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't deny that. Yeah.
And he can also tell a story.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, he's lived a full life, though, Harry, with all the characters in football over the, 60, 70 years he's been going.
Yeah, yeah. And to be fair, we can all
he was a good player as well, actually.
we can pull him apart. He should have got that manager. He should have got the England job when it was going. He should have got when Roy Hodgson had it. It should have been Harry.
What mate, you'll be banging on about Neil fucking Warnock next.
In fact, they'll give it to that guy who only lasted one game.
That was Allardyce, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Fucking
Big
hell.
fat Sam's hopefully on his fucking way to Leicester now. He's down the M6 and fucking M1.
He's getting the tin hats ready, isn't he? He's getting the tin hats ready and having the grass grown in the fucking corner so he can boot it up there.
Yeah, because he's been out of the game for a while, hasn't he? So it's like, there's 10 names on the list. They just go around and do all the clubs and like, we haven't used him for a while. Right, get him in. He did a good job. Is Howard Kendall around? No, he's dead, mate. Oh, damn. Never mind.
Yeah, he would have been cheap. Yeah. Fucking hit the ground, mate. Footy fans are very fickle. Short-term memories. That's absolutely true.
Yeah.
Who said that? Can't remember.
I assume you've watched Sunderland Till I Die. I haven't watched that, mate. I think it's better than Wrexham. I like the Wrexham. I do like the Wrexham thing. Sunderland Till I Die. What can I watch it on? If I can watch it on something, I'll give it a go.
Probably on YouTube, I should imagine.
What? What's that?
Some channel thing.
What's going on here then? Jamie C out in America. How are you, buddy? Paul Merson is a legend. I completely agree with that.
Well, he's a good player. I don't like the word legend, but he was a good player.
He was a fan. Have you seen that documentary he did about gambling and alcoholism?
Yes, I did.
Have you seen that, Dave?
Yeah, that was powerful documentary.
No.
Go and watch it. Honestly, mate, it's phenomenal.
And it does pull at your heartstrings a lot, doesn't it? It does.
Well, he lost his house. He lost fucking everything.
Yeah.
All on black.
and then he relapsed, didn't he? Couple of years ago, he relapsed. We got some money together, and I think that's one of the reasons why. You don't know, but Sky had a clear out and got rid of virtually all the old job and just kept Jeff Stelling. I think the reason they don't want to get rid of Paul is because they know if they get rid of him, he might relapse back to gambling again. Well,
the only reason they kept Jeff Stelling because he didn't want to go in the end, did he? Because
he didn't want to go.
He's a fucking idiot anyway. I've met him. Anglo-Saxon, how are you, mate? Hope you're doing all right. We'll watch the podcast. The podcast with Joe Cole and Harry Redknapp is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Harry Redknapp's a legend. I think he should have been England manager. I don't know how well he would have done because he couldn't buy and sell. But
he would have sold the team. He would have sold the team.
Exactly.
Yeah. He would have sold the team and bought in.
Sold England.
The FA would have turned up and found they were playing back at the old Wembley.
And this comment is absolutely spot on from Northern Southern. If you don't sub to Northern Southern Beer Reviews, go give them a sub.
It's fucking horrible.
What you got?
That.
But never had it.
Is that the wheat one? Is that the wheat beer?
Yeah, look at the fucking state of that.
Brian Clough should have been the England manager.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm glad he didn't get the job. Because I'm a Nottingham Forest fan, so we wouldn't have done nothing if he had got the job. But he should have got the job, definitely.
Yeah, but the media would have ripped him to bits, though, wouldn't they? I reckon. Even back then, the media would have found fault with Brian Clough. So.
Oh yeah, we wouldn't have won anything because you still would have had the same players to choose from.
Yeah.
But it would have been nice to have seen what he would have done with them. But as a Forest fan, I'm so glad he didn't get the job.
For me, he was my favourite manager ever. just because of how he was and who he was, and the fact that he never took anybody, and it was just him, how he wanted to be, and didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
You ever seen that interview he did with Don Revie?
The Don Revie interview.
Fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Wow, your players were fucking dirty bastards under you, but under me, they'll play football.
And
young man.
Did you see the movie they did about when he was 40 odd days in? Yeah, the film. The film they did.
Not a movie.
Was that Michael Sheen?
Yeah, the 41 days. I know the Clough family weren't happy with it. But a lot of what in that, it's obviously a little bit of exaggeration, but he was a huge fan of that Leeds team, and he did get really excited about them coming to Derby to play. He was really up for that, and apparently they did sort of just diss him and go, and that was all the start of it. He was like, well, that won't happen again. And that was where it all started from, because he was a big fan of the manager and that Leeds team, and they just didn't give him the time of day. And he thought,
the FA were terrified of him, weren't they? Absolutely terrified of him.
Yeah, I mean, he was never going to last at Leeds. I don't know what they were thinking of giving him the job, but he got a good car out of it. Apparently, they let him keep the car.
Yeah, the Damned United.
Yeah, that's the movie. Yeah, with the Michael Sheen. He was in the news the other day, wasn't he?
Bloody awful!
Yeah, he was in the news the other day, wasn't he, Michael Sheen, having got Prince Charles for visiting Wales on Wales's National Day against everybody that isn't Welsh. I don't know if you missed that, Dave. Michael Sheen.
I must have missed that. You should have put it in your fucking bronze, silver, and gold.
It wasn't in the paper, so I couldn't bring it in. But yeah, Prince Charles before the funeral, but he was going around different parts of the country. He went to Scotland and all that, and he went to Wales on Wales's National Day. I forget what it's called. It's in Welsh, and Michael Sheen was not happy. He looked at it as it was some kind of dig against Wales. So this is Michael Sheen who lives in California.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
I do tend to find, Mark, that all these celebrities talk a fucking good game, but when it comes to it, they're not even in this country. They don't even live like we do. They're just
Sean Connery, wasn't it? Sean Connery, all the independents from Mallorca,
Yeah.
I could never stand Sean Connery.
I didn't like him either. He was a good Bond, though.
To be fair, I've never been a massive James Bond fan. I just think it's the same fucking film over and over again.
But it is,
isn't it?
It is. It is. I won't deny that. It is. Yeah.
Well, it won't be next time. It won't be next time, will it? It'll be a bloody woman.
Apart from the last one,
they're down to 3, aren't they? Apparently, there's down to 3 people. 4 people. 3 of them aren't English, or
so an English spy won't
be
played
to
by
pick his words.
So maybe Jodie Whittaker will get it.
Sweaty sock.
Jodie Whittaker, Doctor Who woman. She needs a job. Maybe she'd get the job.
That's killed Doctor Who, isn't it? That's killed Doctor Who now.
I've got to be very careful. I've got to be careful on my Doctor
Why wasn't it Nurse Who? Nurse Who.
All I will say on Doctor. All I will say.
She's nurse.
All right.
Oh yeah. All I will say on the Doctor Who thing is when they give it to a woman, which fair enough, it was a big call. Give it to a woman. They gave it to a woman, but do you ever see her in a dress? No, she was wearing manly clothes the whole 3 years she was in it.
I think the last Doctor Who I watched was David Tennant. I think that was the last Doctor Who I watched with David Tennant. I like David Tennant.
Yeah. He's back. He's coming back for the next one.
Is he really?
He's coming back in with Donna. See, there's another thing. See, they've done this now, haven't they? They're just box ticking, putting people into fucking characters that aren't those characters. They're not wrote. Doctor Who is Doctor Who. James Bond is a white, middle-aged fucking man who's, that's the character. And I'm fed up with this. Oh, we've got to break the mold. We'll break the fucking mold, and people won't watch it because
the one that did me was Fireman Sam.
Yeah.
But they started moaning that it should be Firefighter Sam, and it's like
He's saving people's lives. He's going up into ladders and buildings on fire. He's saying it doesn't matter if he's a man or a woman.
It's a good couple of years ago, but yeah, there was a whole the fire service started complaining about it or something.
Well, it should be a fire person.
The fire person said, "Yeah, fuck."
Okay. So Mr. Ben would have just been Ben.
Yeah, Ben.
Yeah.
Is he still in the chat? Is he still here?
Ben's off to the old fancy dress shop again. You know?
Yeah. You know why he went to the fancy dress shop? Because he went there and he had a fucking bong and he got smashed out his head, went tripping, and then come out. That's what Mr. Ben were doing. He weren't fucking going out in a magical place. He were tripping on a fucking bong.
And they're saying, has he finished in that changing room yet? He's been in there for hours.
Have you seen Once Upon a Time in America?
What?
Yes.
Once Upon a Time in America, Robert De Niro, when he's lying there and he's smoking that thing, that's what Mr. Ben's doing. He's fucking tripping in the back there, the bastard.
Nobody gets invited to that many fancy dress parties in the first place. So what was he going there?
Unless you're a swinger and you've got bloody pampas grass in your garden.
Yeah, and he never bought the costume, did he? He never bought the bloody costume. No. He always left without buying it, you know.
Exactly. See, you're coming round to my way of thinking now, Mark. He were fucking tripping.
You killed my childhood there. I loved that show when I was a kid.
Is this his first time? I'm actually in the process of writing a video about that, Mr. Ben, and things that weren't real.
Yeah.
Well, if you look
hang on a minute. You mean Mr. Ben wasn't real?
No, he wasn't. You're a cartoon.
He lived in Acacia Avenue or something, didn't he? That was a road.
That's it. Yeah, Acacia Avenue.
Yeah.
Chorlton and the Wheelies. You can have a field day.
You know, John Whittaker's may as well.
What's all that about?
You see these comments, John Whittaker.
Yeah, John Whittaker's on fire.
You know, every time you say that name, John Whittaker, that's the name of my old boss. So every time I hear that name,
maybe it's him.
I always think of my old boss.
Yeah, I know.
No, he's dead, my old boss, unfortunately.
So's John Whittaker.
Yeah, so's that.
Oh, yeah, he's fucking here. He's talking for us from the dead.
You can have more fish and chips, Dave. More fish and chips.
I'll let you do the comments, Scott.
So, I was thinking about that the other day. I've seen a fish and chip thing the other day, and I thought, I must do another fish and chip review.
I saw this flash up earlier. Actually, I turned Netflix on. Who has been watching Dharma? It's mental.
Dharma, I've never heard of it.
Jeffrey Dahmer, that'll be.
Jeffrey Dahmer. He was a serial killer, wasn't he?
He was a serial. Well, he didn't kill any Kellogg's, but he killed a lot of people.
Yeah, I've not been watching it. I
watched after someone told me it was really good. I came by, wish he hadn't fucking bothered.
It was fucking brilliant. What's wrong with you, man?
Is it on HBO or something like that? Is it Netflix? Okay.
Mark, did you watch that thing I told you to watch last night?
No, not yet, because I was out today. But I'm going to watch it because I lived in East Anglia.
It's just an hour and 10 minutes long. Michael Palin wrote it. So if you like Monty Python...
No, I do. I like Michael Palin. Yeah. No, because I lived in East Anglia in Ely for 14 years. So,
yeah.
So I never went to Southwold, funny enough. Yeah, I lived in Ely, ELY. The only place in East Anglia with a hill.
Yeah, we like that out there. We love it out there, to be fair.
Yeah, I've seen some of your videos, yeah. But Southwold's a bugger to get to if you don't have a car.
Yeah, it is.
So I never went to Southwold, but I always wanted to go because I wanted to go to Adnan's, you know.
It's nice. It is nice, Southwold. You ought to make an effort if you do.
I've been to Cromer and a few of the other places and stuff.
JB says, Mr. Bong, Mr. Ben and his bong.
Yeah, but I'm right. I'm fucking right. I'm telling you. The BBC, the corrupt. Look at Magic Roundabout. Magic Roundabout's all about.
They were all tripping. Yeah.
Well, Magic Roundabout originally was a French program. It was written for France, and Emma Thompson's dad jigged it up and made it for English and rewrote it. So I imagine he added a bit of the weirdness that went on in it.
Fingerbobs. Who the fuck thought Fingerbobs?
Yeah, finger mouse. Finger mouse. Yeah.
It's like Amy Winehouse when she was playing with a baby dead mouse with fucking baby shambles.
He was an American guy. That guy who did Finger Mouse was an American. He was a right miserable sod apparently in real life.
I believe it was up a mouse's arse.
Matt Waters put, "Hi everyone. My daughter will be watching Jeffrey Dahmer program. She watches serial killer stuff. I'll sleep with one eye open." You go. You go. Come here.
Yeah, there was a lot of weird kids programs on in the 70s and the 80s.
Yeah.
Mary Mungo and Midge was my favourite back in the day.
I like Mary Moore. They lived in a flat, didn't they?
They lived in a council house, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Fucking
Before the dodgy
Yeah.
cladding. Before the dodgy cladding.
Who's this? Who's these people? You go. This is Hugo.
Hugo.
I think you want to go see
Not
that.
happy.
That's the end of that. You'll see more of Hugo, I'm sure. Leah's got her own channel. If Thomas is still about, Leah and Hugo, it's very much in the building. Hugo is 13 weeks old. 13 weeks old.
13 as of yesterday.
13 weeks yesterday, so he's still a puppy, bit bitey, but bit of a nightmare. But he's great, isn't he? What Leah's bruised, but he's he's Leah's assistant's dog. I'm not going to go into Leah's condition because she hates it. It doesn't define her. But Leah,
Hugo does Leah's washing up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Makes the bed.
yeah. or he just shits on the stairs, whichever he feels like. To be fair,
Dog.
but he's great, isn't he?
Well, it's something.
Oh, he's a pain in the ass. We've been watching videos. So he's a Vizsla. We've been watching videos of Vizslers, and they're just like, there's one couple, there's a bloke there, like he hasn't slept for about 3 weeks, and he's like ready to kill his wife and the dog by the look of it.
Vizsla. Sounds like a Doctor Who villain, doesn't it? Vizslers. The Vizslers.
Hungarian. Should have called it Granville.
Why? Well, you said that before. Was Granville Hungarian? Was he? Am I
Yeah, that's open all hours.
By that. It's
Yeah,
shit.
I never really watched Open All Hours too much. Was he Hungarian then?
Yeah,
Ron
the old
Barber.
plot, weren't it? He was Granville was a bastard.
I didn't
They
know
didn't
he
know
was
his dad.
Hungarian.
To be fair, it takes
Oh.
one to know one.
Oh, right. So he
Oh,
was supposed
funny
to have
enough.
come from Hungary. Okay. No, I never
Funny
really
enough.
watched
I
Open
wasn't.
All Hours.
I am a bastard. I was a shag in the back of a fucking van.
For fuck's sake.
I had a birth certificate, my mum's wedding certificate, right? And I went, Mum, how come I was born 7 months before I was born 7 months after you were married? And like her face just went as red as this t-shirt. And
Don't ask.
Oh, no.
I thought
supposed to
Darwin was a
know.
comedy. Fucking brilliant. Well, it might be, depending on your personal taste, I suppose. Matt says, "Cute doggy." He is a little bit of a strangle. Don't like that, Dave. Not a fan of that.
no, Jamie C says, what you drinking? Apparently it's Hitler's piss.
I'm on the Vice beer from
I've
Ryan.
nearly finished.
That's all right. Actually, it's quite nice.
I've
That's
nearly
what I'm going
finished the.
for next. I'm going to crack my last one.
I've nearly finished the
Rinse my
spade.
glass.
How's Hugo? Hugo, how old? Is Hugo? Well, he's a Hugo. No,
I'm gonna
honestly.
go-
How old is he? Yeah, he's 13 weeks yesterday. Yeah, don't say that, mate.
Stop drinking Oktoberfest beers, and I drink non-Oktoberfest beer.
You're drinking. Hugo's good as gold, mate. If you go on our channel community page, there's a picture of him sat on Wanda's chair. They're always bitey at that age. You'll be mate. Graham, he's good as gold. To be fair, he has his moments, but he's Leah's dog. He's designed to make sure Leah's all right, alert us if there's problems with Leah. He's as good as gold. He's a bit of a bastard.
Bit like Granville.
Bit like Dave. But a lot smaller.
It's brilliant, like, because most kids, like, at an age of something like 10, 11 or 12 and found out there was, like, surplus to requirement, would have cracked. I just fucking laughed.
I was surplus. I'll tell you what, that's a nice beer, that.
What is
Have
it?
you
I'm
heard
going
that?
to give you my opinion now. No,
I can't, can you? I can't see the. Bring it
It's
down a
the
bit.
the Rhinebacker Vice beer.
No, I've never had Perlenbacher or Rhinebacher. These are Lidl and Aldi beers, aren't they?
These are Aldi beers.
Yeah, I know it's a bit snobby thing to say. When I go for a German beer, I just tend to go for the ones I know. But I keep meaning to pick them up just to give them a go. So I will buy them at some point.
And review them.
Well, I'm not a beer reviewer.
Mate,
Um,
no one's a fucking beer reviewer, mate. You just turn the camera on and tell people.
YouTube,
What you think
nobody's
about
professional. They're all
But
fucking
no,
amateurs.
yeah.
it. No one gives a shit. I'm going to tell you. I can tell you a secret, right?
Go on.
No one cares. No one cares what you think. No, it's just turn the
No.
camera on, tell people what you think of it. No one actually gives a shit.
Well, that's true. I do agree with that. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. Then I will get one or the other, and I will do one of them on a video at some
Yeah.
point. Okay.
Dead right,
Whichever
John.
one I find first.
Yeah.
So they're called Perlenbacher and.
These are
Rhinebacher.
right. So in Lidl you got Perlenbacker.
Yeah.
In Aldi you got Rhinebacker because they were brothers, German brothers. Aldi and Lidl.
Yeah. Well, I love Aldi and Lidl. It was
Like
a
the
real
chuckle.
shame when they used to sell proper German food in Aldi and Lidl. Then about 10 years ago, they just stopped.
I knew my mum was German. She had a little tash.
Yeah.
Kept wanting
My-
to go to Poland.
My mum didn't. I've been to Poland.
Well, you invaded.
Those fucking Germans.
My,
Were you
my
invited or did you invade?
No, my nan hated Poland, so I thought I better go and see what it's like for myself. She hated Poland, my nan. She always told me stories after the war finished about Poland. I can't repeat any of them on here.
I know we had
is
this.
the good thing
I know
about
we had
the
this.
Brits. We can take the piss and laugh about everything.
That's what I liked about. I was watching Mark's live stream. Wonder was out last night. Obviously, we got to like 40 Towers. So there's stuff that can't be made anymore. And like him taking the piss out of the Germans and that. It's what England should be about.
I found that. I mean, I've loved 40 Towers. It was what 12 episodes of
12
episodes. Yeah, 12 episodes of which is. I'm glad they never made any more because I think they would have run out of ideas.
He refused, didn't he? He refused to make any more.
Yeah, and it was like a 3-year gap between the first series and the second series. And he wrote them with Connie Booth, who was his wife at the time.
Yeah, it was his wife at the time.
Yeah, and they were just. I mean, all 12 stand on their own as great episodes. All 12 of them.
It's not. It's not a rat. It is a Siberian hamster.
Yeah,
like
gotta
that.
be careful. Yeah,
What's that, Dave?
but no, I have no
Don't
problem
like
with
it.
people having a go at the Germans. Even my nan and granddad used to find it funny when they were alive. You know, so. And hello, my granddad thought hello was hilarious.
Look who's back. Hugo's back.
Has the dog got no legs?
No.
I like it when you see these women walking around with dogs in bags. You think, put the fucking thing down.
It's not even that. It's when you see him pushing them around with like the fucking canopy things on. It's like, what are you doing? I'm taking the dog for a push. Like, doing what?
You know, you two both. I know Dave has dogs, and you've now got a dog, so you both like dogs. But have you noticed when I was a kid, most
don't like
people.
dogs. No, can we stop? Can we stop? Me and Dave are in a similar position. I don't want a dog. I don't want a dog. I know Dave would not have dogs, but our wives and the family in a whole like having dogs.
Do like dogs.
We are owners. I love dogs. I
upsetting.
love dogs. I don't want the stress and hassle that comes along with a dog.
But do you notice people who used to walk their dog? The dogs were a reasonable size, proper sort of what I call a proper dog. Now, nearly everybody walking the dog, they're like little piddly little dogs. And you see big guys with tattoos and stuff, and they've got these piddly little dogs, and you're thinking, when did we go from big dogs that used to scare you when you were walking past and you crossed the road to everyone now's got tiddly little things? You know?
Well, dogs are fucking rats.
I think the younger generation don't want children, so they just get a dog.
But the thing is, Mark, that little fucking dog, like that big, is worth about $3 fucking grand.
Yeah, my brother had one, and he's dead now, unfortunately, that he paid a lot of money for. It was only about that big. I forget what sort of breed of dog it was.
Well, Hugo's pure breed. So I might sell him tomorrow.
So that means it's worth a lot of money, doesn't it, pure breed?
Leah's looking at me and saying, you fucking won't.
Oh, the thing is, these fucking crossbreeds, like Doodles, they're worth about £3,000.
To be fair, mate, I could do with the money. If you want to sell him and send it my way, I'll be quite happy. And or bring him down because you got him from down here. That's how we met. That's how we came across each other. Was because of that little bastard.
No wonder these fucking immigrants driving around in fucking dodgy Fiat fucking Uno vans, chucking the bastard dogs in the back and selling them. They're worth a fortune.
There's been a lot of dog fairs, isn't there? There's been big business nicking dogs, isn't there? Yeah.
Cats round our way. Cats have gone missing. I put it on the Facebook thing about many cats going missing. And I mentioned something about the Chinese restaurant. And God, did I get some stick?
I'm not saying my best mate is British born Hong Kong, so I'm not going to say anything on that. But the Only Fools and Horses episode, you know, when they open the door and the cat comes running out.
Yeah.
But
all of us beer reviewers really don't give a shite. Well, very true. Well, not all of it. I don't care. Do you know what? I'll give my opinion. Hopefully, I'll drive some trade to certain beers I like, but I've never taken it seriously. You know, we can all take things seriously. I don't. I enjoy having a bit of fun, and I've got bogged down in sort of other shit here and there. But I don't want to be a part of that. I just want to have some fun. And then
I did.
You sounded like Cyndi Lauper then.
Yeah. I won't get it. I did a video which I'm never going to show. I've still got it, but it's not going to see the light of day because it'll just cause too much grief. Where I actually talk about the whole beer reviewing and not just beer reviewing on YouTube, but the whole thing where we went from just ordering a beer at the bar and then chatting about whatever went on in your life or whatever. So the beer was the main conversation of the day. And I do a whole video on it, and I watched it back and I just thought if I put that out, I would just get so many people thinking, are you having a pop at me? Are you having a pop at me?
Do it.
And I did. And I say on the video about 3 times, I'm just playing devil's advocate. This is not a pop at anyone. But I just know if I put it out with my reputation, people would just think I'm having a pop at them. So it's never going to see the light of day. It's never going to see. Mate. I've not deleted it, but I don't think I'll ever put it out. It's quite a good video. It's a lot of humour in it as well. It's not like having a go at anybody.
I'm just going to say, Brad, I can't put your car. I've got my other laptop over here. Brad, it comes up that he's been a member for 17 months of our channel.
Yeah.
Hi, Pete. How we all doing? Have a great evening. Brad, thank you very much for the support of the channel, mate. Much love to you, Sophie and Mia. See you, buddy.
I like Brad. He always comments on a lot of my videos.
He's a good kid. Got a lot of time for Brad.
Yeah. And we don't always agree, but you know,
that's fine. I don't care about agreeing or anything like that.
Jackson.
Our Aldi and little brothers, though, I thought Aldi brothers fell out over selling cigarettes. I made Aldi and Aldi. See, I know Matt makes a good point. I do know Adidas and Puma were brothers.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I did know that. I was under the assumption that, and it's probably one of these old wives' tales, that Aldi and Lidl were brothers.
Can't be brothers.
Okay. I didn't know they were brothers either.
Maybe that's your first name.
One called Little fucking Hitler.
But not everybody in Germany is their brother. That's the thing. So I don't know if people just think because they're all German, they're all brothers. I don't know.
Maybe they are.
I don't know. I generally don't know. I never knew about the Adidas and Puma.
Yeah, so Adidas and Puma were brothers that fell out and set up different brands.
So like the Black Sheep Brewery and the other one. Who was Black Sheep and some other brewery?
I don't know that one.
And Samuel Smith with John Smith.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ben says, Mark the Pondering Man, you need a Patreon so you can release the naughty videos to paying members.
It's I would never ever. I won't get 1,000 subscribers, but I would never want to put money on my channel. So
why?
Why won't I get 1,000 subscribers?
So I'm going to comment on this because
I say it a lot on my videos, don't I? I'm never going to do that.
No, I'm going to comment on it because obviously we've touched upon this privately, actually. that
Sounds
there's this misconception that every channel that is monetized makes these fantastic amount of money.
Which
And
they
I sent you some screenshots of the monetization videos that I've got, and the fact that they've not even come close to. I know Dave's in a slightly different position, but as a channel of
I'm
our
a millionaire through someone else, though, Scott.
yeah, you're a millionaire, Dave. That's
You
absolutely
won
fine.
that Euro lottery the other day, didn't you? 171
Yeah,
million.
he's not coming forward yet.
Yeah,
But obviously, there's a misconception that we're all fucking raking this money in. And I sent you these. I sent you these screenshots that said
I was
that.
actually shocked how little that they actually make.
Yeah,
I thought it'd be. I knew it wasn't. I wasn't under misconception that everyone made loads of money, but I actually thought it was a little bit more than what you showed me.
right.
So it does make me wonder that those people that got like 35, 40,000 subscribers, but they don't get like the views to match their subscribers. It makes you wonder how they make a living.
Yeah, it's a load of rubbish.
Yeah, and then you did your one, didn't you? Where you explained that.
Yeah, you don't make that much money at it, really. It's no good having like. I mean, all right, we'll just use Brian as a fucking example. 2 million subscribers.
Who?
Yeah, I didn't know his name either until you told me who he was. I just knew him as his
2
channel
million
name.
subscribers, and like it's a couple of 100,000 on each video. The way Brian makes his money is because he's a part of Twitch. He got a massive deal through Twitch.
Okay, I don't know much about Twitch.
No, you don't want to, but that's how he makes his money, and he does other things as well. Brian's he's very clever at other things. When he had his fuck up and his downfall, and then his rebuild, he learnt a lot. And that's the idea of when things go wrong, you learn. But to do YouTube like me, 150,000 subs is fucking nothing. All it is a plaque. You won't. You know,
so I was gonna say,
It's a very nice plaque.
Very nice plaque.
You made your own one. Have you heard of the Food Ranger?
I've not heard of him.
Oh, right. He's a bit like Mark Weeds. You must have heard of him.
Who?
Oh, right. They're two guys on YouTube who both live in Asia, travel around reviewing street food and various other restaurants. Mark Weeds, I think, has got like 9 million subscribers, and Food Ranger's got about 6 million subscribers. But he does more videos now on Facebook than he does on YouTube. So he must be making more money on Facebook than he does on YouTube for him to switch.
I think it all depends where your comfort zone is, though, isn't it? I think people seem to think YouTube is the place to be, and it ain't. I think at the moment, TikTok is doing pretty well. If you can get a brand deal or some kind of sponsorship on TikTok, then you're doing really well. But I don't want to be fucking held.
YouTube as a platform is a dying platform.
Is it really? Oh, okay.
And it's
so there'll be a few worried people out there then.
No, it's not the place. It's not the cool place to be anymore. And you know, I've never wanted to be cool. I've never wanted to be big. I put on about 3 stone in the time I've done it. It's just I do our videos because I like when she's involved. I like being involved with Wanda. I like taking the beers and the Veers. You know, it's I've never wanted to be fucking the biggest beer review or food reviewer in the world. I just like having a bit of fun.
Yeah, I'm the same. I didn't want my channel to be this fucking big. I fucking hate it being this big. It's a nightmare.
Well, you said that. You've said that privately, Dave, many times. You said it in a derogatory way, saying you wish yours was like as small as mine. But I take that.
Did you know what? Right, if I'd have played the game, right, I could have got brand deal after brand deal. But I weren't going to do it. I didn't want to do it. So, I mean, we've got John Whittaker here, look, saying more camping trips. Love it. It's going to be a bit bad because I've sold it.
That's going to be quite tough, mate, isn't it? Good luck with that.
The camper's gone. I've sold it.
Oh yeah, you sold your van, didn't you? I don't get any brand deals. But if somebody wants to send me 24 bottles of that, feel free.
I have two that I've been offered. One I keep forgetting about, and the other one I don't quite know what to do with. It's and they've emailed me again. I think me and Wanda again yesterday. and I don't quite know what to do with that one either. So we've got 2 in the pipeline. I don't know how I feel about them.
I think with people, especially with what's happening now in the world with money and cost of everything, you can't blame people now for thinking, well, you know, I probably wouldn't have done that a year ago, but if it keeps the channel going and a few quid in my pocket, then maybe I need to go down that road. You can't blame people.
Well, one of them is an app that's I'm not going to name the app. They've offered us they're going to give us 30 quid to spend on their app, and then we have to review the stuff that we can get for the £30, and then we've got a code to go with that as well. So we can give out to you guys for 25% off your first purchase, and it's just household goods and stuff like that. So it's worth doing. But me and Wanda are both busy. You know, we've got proper lives and day jobs to get in.
That's what you're saying there. You're saying there, Scott. You're both busy. They've offered you 25 quid. You go back and you say, "Give me 200 quid. We'll do it."
Yeah.
You don't let them see through. Now you see, my management staff used to get a bit of a slating, but they did teach me some good stuff, and I'm still in contact with Elliot in case anybody's fucking watching. But don't take the first offer. It's called negotiation. Don't water down your brand. I got my money through the camper van because I didn't water my brand down. You go back to them and say, 200 quid, I'll do it. If they don't come back and say yes, say, well, it ain't fucking worth it then, is it, sunshine? On your bike, take your fucking Domestos and fuck off.
I don't use Domestos.
Or some diplomatic reply.
Dave, would you like to be my manager?
No,
you could be.
You're quite capable of doing it yourself.
Mr. 20%. Mr. 20%. 40%.
40, yeah. Don't understand the man.
Yeah.
Well, so when they say it's 40%.
So people are saying that I got the Audi and the little stuff I said earlier was bollocks. I do speak a bit bollocks sometimes.
I just got a nip to the loo.
Who was that then? Didn't sound like a nursery rhyme.
I was thinking, loo, skip to the loo, loo.
Yeah, if I were you, Scott, right, go back to them and say, because look at it this way, you've not got anything at the moment, have you? You've not gained anything through that brand deal.
No, nothing.
Say, give us 200 quid because they're going to make so much money.
Well, they won't make any money off my fucking video, will they? We'd find it fair.
No, mate. It all depends how you sell it, isn't it? If you say this is really good, fucking hell, brilliant, do this. You know what I mean?
It's a fair point. It's just something I'd never. I've got this other one. Did I send you the other one? Can't
remember, mate. Half of the stuff you send me, I don't know whether it's fucking right or wrong.
All right, mate. It's a bit rude, but I'll take that. It's hang on. Are you using your phone or not? Are you using your phone? Using your phone? Right, hang on. I'll message you.
Mine's the one with the transit.
Yes, thank you. Fucking idiot. What have we got here? Need more food trucks. Mad Hatter said Audi was formed in 1913 after the mother of two brothers started a small store in Essen. The company was split in 1960 and a row of cigarettes should be sold till or not. Okay.
I've been to Essen. I just caught the end of that, sorry, but I've been
yeah, so
about Lidl and Audi. Lidl and Audi, yeah?
Yeah, about Lidl and Audi.
Yeah, I've been to Essen. It's actually quite nice.
I'm going to go and get my my food. If anybody's interested, I'm going to get my smoked cheese. Are we going to get sausages? Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Oh, I bet more sausage.
I can't eat this late. I'm not because of my gastro. I can't eat this late. I have an 8-hour window every day to eat, and that's me done for the day. Sadly, so if I eat at 11, I have to stop by 7. If I eat at 10, I have to stop by 6.
Fucking hell. Me, I could go to bed on a packet of digestives.
Oh, I used to do all that. I used to. That's probably why I'm buggered. Probably why I
Yeah.
got all these.
I
bloody
must
things.
admit, I've got to start looking after myself. Fucking hell, John Whittaker wants me to have 75% of Scott's earnings.
He must have finger ache. He's been doing a lot of messaging.
He has, isn't he? John's a busy lad tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can have 70. I can eat 75%. I can have me and June. We'll have a cup of tea now before we go to bed, and like quite easily demolish a packet of biscuits. It's not a healthy or good or clever thing to do. So.
No, I've done it as well, but no. Someone said to me, "You want to keep your sort of like gastro and your acid reflux under control? Just eat within an 8-hour window of a 24-hour day." And since I started doing that about 6 months ago, it's really improved. So I just stick to it. The only time it goes out the window is if you're on holiday or you go out for a weekend.
Yeah, you fucked in. When it breaks your cycle, you're knackered, ain't you? Because
you go out for a meal in the evening.
Go on, mate. You carry on.
No, I was gonna say, if you go out with your friends for an evening meal, you can't say, "Oh, can we eat by 6?" You know?
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? I mean, June's got this thing with bread at the moment. Well, she's had it for quite a while. It all depends on the bread we have. If we have what the fuck's he got there?
Salami and
Tiger
smoked
loaf,
cheese selection.
Oh,
salami's Italian, ain't it?
Well, there's beer.
Fucking German.
Is it
Just because you
beer?
put a German flag on it, don't fucking mean anything, you gormless git.
It's probably beerwurst.
I don't think you should speak to Mark like that.
You know, that's okay. It's probably beerwurst or something like that, which is very nice actually. It's got those. Has it got those
I'll be the
yellow...
fucking judge of that.
Comment there at the bottom. Look at that comment. BBM talks sense. Love it.
But he spelt sense wrong.
I was going to say,
I wasn't going to say that.
I'm dyslexic, so it doesn't matter. But I can tell that's spelt wrong.
That cheese is lovely.
Has that got jalapenos in it?
Oh, you fucking numpty.
Oh, right. Well, fuck you then, knobhead. Because look, this here, right, it's got the German colours on it, and it's got jalapenos in it.
This has got German colours on it. I mean, it's fucking German, doesn't it?
That's what I've just said, you fucking southern twat.
Mine says fucking German on it.
Right. Mine says Emporium.
Look where it was made. Look where it was made. Where was it made?
Hang on.
Produce in Germany. Look at that fucker. Look at that.
I can't see that. Hang on.
I have to be honest though, in all my years of travelling around Germany, I've never seen anything with jalapenos in, other than
no,
kebabs.
I haven't either. And I've only been to Germany once.
Even with my glasses on, not a clue.
No, I wouldn't be able to read that either, Scott, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
But I've seen that selection pack before, so I know what's in that selection pack. But I've never seen that cheese.
Cheese is nice.
No, not your cheese. Not your cheese.
All right, mate.
Dave's cheese. Dave's cheese. But you probably got beerwurst in that selection pack.
Baby, how are you, sweetheart?
Formed in 1930.
German cheese that's got jalapenos in it.
Have you read Matt's comment? Have you read Matt's comment?
You haven't even
Well, if you watch, if you watch that show that got axed, what was it called? That sci-fi show that got axed. It started off very good. Hitler did go to South America, didn't he? I can't remember what it was called now.
Hello. Yeah. You? Was that Mark? I missed that. Sorry.
No, I was talking about that. What was that sci-fi show where they had a picture?
Star Wars.
No, they could go back.
Star Trek.
No, it was about Germany, and if the Germans had won the war,
German wars.
It would have, and I can't remember. Edelweiss. I played the Edelweiss song on it.
Mary Poppins.
Yeah, that'd be the one. Yeah. Mary Poppins. Yeah, that's it, Dave. That's it.
Is it the first time you two have actually spoke to each other? Properly?
No. What you mean on a video?
Yeah.
Yeah, is it on a video? Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, it could be. Could well be. Yeah.
And
I didn't think of that. I didn't think of that. Yeah.
Because I don't do lives. I fucking hate lives.
Yes, we.
Yeah, you don't do many, do you?
Right.
No.
Horrible
Which is a
things.
shame because you're very good when you do them. I
Yeah.
like your lives.
Yeah, the trouble is though, Mark, my tongue tends to run away with me, and
Yes,
June's
yeah.
tongue tends to run away with her and all.
And funny enough, I'm quite the opposite on my lives. You know, where my videos I just say what I feel, but on my lives I tend to just try and keep it more relaxed, chilled, and light.
I think you. I think. Well, I've said this to you, Mark, that you're quite good. I mean, when your channel was invaded the other week on a live, I thought you handled it quite successfully, quite professionally. And me and June were talking afterwards, and we were saying like how well you handled it. And then last night you did something last night, and I thought, fucking hell, Mark would be brilliant on a podcast. Really, really good.
It's kind of you to say so. I did touch on it once. I was involved in drama and stuff and all that many moons in several lifetimes ago and stuff. So I can do stage stuff back. I don't know if I could do it now, but I did do things on small stages with 100 people and stuff, you know. But
yeah, it's just confidence, isn't it?
Yeah. I tend not to worry about. I don't look at it that people are watching you. It doesn't come across my mind that anyone's actually watching or listening. So when
like
that
this, really,
yeah. I don't know how many of you got. What I can't see.
22. Let's smash the fucking like button.
Okay. But when I did get invaded by, we're not going to say who, but you know that happened.
Invaded. Don't say that about Germany, mate. They get a bit upbeat.
Yeah. Shock. It was shock, and then two. Right. Let's not make this a horrible live. Just keep it.
Well, I thought you handled that really, really well, Mark. And me and June were talking about it afterwards, and we were saying how well you handled the situation because it could have got quite.
I didn't really think of it at the time.
But you did really, really well. So
I went back and watched bits of it. I haven't seen all of it. I watched bits of it. Obviously, what's gone on since has been disappointing, but I mean, it was what it was, wasn't it?
But the thing is, though, Mark,
it's my most watched live. It's my most watched live. Put it that way.
Yeah, but where you say that you look at there's nobody there, I go the other way. I look at when somebody's watching me live. I'd fill Wembley in my mind. I would fill Wembley. And I want every fucker watching me, and I want everybody to hear what I have to say. And June doesn't like that.
Yeah. I think if I thought like that, I'd probably get nervous.
Yeah.
And then freeze.
Where I go the other way, I actually run on that adrenaline. So.
But yeah.
What we're going to do? Call this another 10 minutes and knock it on the head.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you want to go, I'm happy to just do whatever you like.
It's 10 to 8. I think 2 hours is a nice round target.
I'm with that. So this beer bollock, says Graham. Cheese tube is clearly the future.
Cheese. June's boss used to do cheese talks.
Cheese at night.
I'm going to be honest, I've almost ate all that. I'm fucking starving.
For fuck's sake, no wonder you're a fat bastard.
I had my dinner before I came on.
Never knew Hitler made it to Mexico and cultivated jalapenos. Mark, are you pouring your drinks away under the table because you're sober compared to these two goalposts?
No, I've only had the 3. I don't know how many you lot are drinking. I've only had the 3, so
I've done the 4. I'm on my 5th now. I got fucking fed up with waiting.
Yeah, I'm on the 4th.
I was thinking of.
I'm being very careful because I have to drive tomorrow.
Yeah, see, I can only really drink 3 anyway now, so 3 is probably my limit these days. But yeah, and 10 Duvals, of course. I can do 10 Duvals.
Matt says, that comes back to haunt me. That video.
They were poured under the counter as well, weren't they? Apparently, by all accounts.
I'm going to stay out of this one.
Yeah, sorry.
All I can say is
I saw your pause. You can see we saw your.
I was on holiday, and we were on holiday, and Wanda said to me, I said to her that we'd been invited to do this, and the whole thing was I was screaming off of my phone I was hotspotting to my the laptop from my phone. I said I'm going to get to 6 and say I'm done, or just knock it off. Say that the stream, my data's run out. I got carried away and did all 10, and was still absolutely fucking hammered the next day.
Anybody who drinks 10 of them is going to be mullered. Anybody.
And that's not. I'm not throwing.
Yeah.
I'm not throwing stones at the hooligan or Simon.
No.
I don't care anymore.
Exactly.
All I can say is
I couldn't drink. I couldn't drink 5 of them. I wouldn't be able to drink 5 of those.
I'd literally had only ever 1 bottle of that. I had 1 bottle the day before just to see what it was like.
What it was like. I've only ever drunk 1 bottle of it ever.
Years ago. When Scott came up here for the, we had a drink and fucking lightweight. You were an embarrassment in my local.
Hang on a minute. Well, the annoyance was with Dave. So we drove up to Loughborough. Chris and Lou came down from Oldham as well. We stayed overnight. Me and Dave, like, I'm not hammered. He was absolutely bollocks, right? But the annoyance was the next morning I felt like absolute shit, right? And we said, I messaged Dave saying, look, we're going to Wetherspoons for breakfast. Come and meet us. I felt fucking awful, and that fucker walks in fresh as daisies, like bouncing across the fucking floor like you absolute cunt.
Some people can do that. They can drink all night and whatever, and wake up in the morning.
It's in the breeding, mate. It's in the fucking DNA.
What time did we start? We started about 12:30, didn't we? And we finished fuck those, 10:30, 11.
Something like that, yeah. Joe picked us up, then she took us to your hotel.
And then we couldn't get in. We couldn't get into the hotel because I dropped the car off. But I couldn't book into a certain time. Obviously, this poor bastard has to come from fucking miles away to fucking let us in.
And the best thing is, your hotel's been on Channel 4.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's been on that hotel fucking manager thing.
What shit?
That show's still going, is it? Blimey.
Or some kind of thing, yeah, hotel. It was fucking, like, yeah.
It was when we went. I can't say too much about this one. It's when Dave and June came down for the wedding, so they were down for the week.
I'm talking to June. June says, "Weren't it a knocking shot?"
I don't know. When Dave and June and June came down for for people who don't know, so obviously Dave came down for the wedding, and they were down for a week, and we met up over Hayden Island, and I was absolutely hammered. And Wanda was drinking. She was drinking. I can't remember. She was some fucking stout or porter or something. And she was absolutely bollocks. And then, if you look in certain of our videos, there's a little blackboard with reserved and clueless written on it. So I pinched the clueless reserve thing and sat on top of something. When I got back, was this fucking easel. And Dave nicked the easel. And he's like, and he sent me a message saying, "Look for this." I'm like, you fucker.
Have it in your video back at home, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just going for a piss before we finish this.
Yeah.
5 minutes. These comments and we're done. Yeah, Defo Scott drank them. Even if you don't, mate, I don't remember. I tell you what I do know is we were on holiday in Great Yarmouth, and I know the next day I woke up and Wanda said that I literally turned the camera off and spewed. So where we were, had the fridge behind us. We walked back up the thing to our bedroom, and apparently I spewed everywhere. Absolutely everywhere.
Everyone's done it, haven't they? Everyone's done it.
And Leo will tell you, because we were in a caravan, you could hear me fucking all the way down the bottom of the hill in the caravan.
I watched that live when you all did your, and I didn't know any of you then. Nothing, I was just a watcher of video.
Was that before or after you called me the most pointless beer reviewer on YouTube?
I have no idea, being honest. I would imagine it was probably after.
I don't care.
Before. It could be before. But I remember watching that and thinking, what are these three guys doing? Because I know that beer's a strong beer, and I'm not a big Belgian beer fan anyway. And
No,
I'm
no one.
thinking, this is not going to end well. I thought to myself, and it was like it started off really intelligent, and everyone's having a good chat, and it was going like that. Like
How many did
that.
Simon do? Did Simon do 6 or 7?
I thought he did 6 or 7.
Yeah.
I didn't think that. From my
I think,
memory,
to be fair, do you know what? I've had my differences with
which is
Simon.
still a lot. That's still a lot.
I was just about to say, I've had my differences with Simon, but I thought he did better than I was expecting, in all honesty.
Yeah, because he doesn't always look like he can hold his beer, does he? You know.
No.
So yes.
He,
I mean,
he did all right, and do you know what? I say I
7%,
can. Yeah, he did all right, mate. To be fair, I'm not going to sit and sleep, man.
The first 2 hours of that were actually very good live entertainment. It was actually quite.
The person that held that live together, she doesn't get enough credit for that, was Wanda.
Yeah, she
Because
was
without
on the show,
Wanda,
yeah.
she was drinking. I think she had 8 or 9 brothers on that live. She was looking after me, but she was the absolute star of that show.
And Mark's wife came on it as well, didn't she? I remember Mark's wife appeared on that show as well.
Don't give a fuck, to be fair.
You know, because I'd never seen her before either. So.
Scott, stop fucking around and say what you think.
It made for interest. I remember was it on a Friday night? Was it a Friday night? If I remember,
It was Tuesday.
Tuesday. I remember because it was Tuesday, Friday in them days, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I remember thinking I've got to watch this because it's going to be fun and
it wasn't
and interesting. And I remember thinking, and the first 2 hours were brilliant, and then it started to go a bit. I'm not sure I watched the last half, and I think I went to bed and turned it off. So.
Thomas says Scott is the most pointless beer reviewer on YouTube. Do you know what? So for people, I don't know if you know this, Dave. So Mark is absolutely appalled by this, but in his previous guys as Matt Mells, where we had a bit of a
Who is this Matt Mells? This
Matt Mells. So Matt Mells was a login that Mark created for himself, and he
was a wally.
He called me the most pointless beer reviewer on YouTube a few years back now. Something he's actually quite embarrassed.
I think it was about three years ago.
Point now, wasn't
he? Oh yeah, he wasn't wrong.
Scott, that wasn't the worst. That was not the worst thing Matt Mells called people on YouTube. Trust me.
I don't doubt that, mate.
Matt Mells was going for a lot of bad rubbish.
So was Matt Mells a bit like Keith Lemon?
No, Matt Mells was
an alternative. What's the word, June?
Matt Mells was a guy who just went on YouTube to watch YouTube and had a lot of fun watching. But when he was having a bad place, he would just be terrible on the camera.
I liked Matt Mells.
Matt Mells is doing 40 to 60 years in Isle of Wight prison, and he's never coming out. So he's long gone. With Alex Belfield. Yeah.
I blocked Matt Mells.
You did.
And,
I didn't even know you blocked me. I used to keep typing away, not knowing I was.
I saw some comments where he was defending me and Wanda, and I unblocked him. I said, you know what, Matt / Mark. I didn't know the guy's name was Mark.
You didn't know my name was Mark, did you?
No, I didn't. And I said, you know what, mate? I appreciate you being honest. So I'll unblock you, and we've actually become quite good friends from that. And do you know what? I think there's I'm going to end it on this. There's a redemption bit from my point of view as well. I'm not just saying from Mark. We can all take our arse in our hand at times and sort of get quite fucking arsey and throw our toys out the pram, but if you delve below the subject of, and I've got to know Mark quite well. I know the stuff that he doesn't talk about, the stuff that affects him, and I like to get to know people. Am I perfect? No. Have I made mistakes in YouTube? Fucking right, I have. Do you know, and I think we can all agree with that. But I like to think I'm fairly straightforward. And I'm very lucky that I've made some good friends. Dave, I think the world of. Chris, I invited Dean tonight. Dean was a bit unsure because he didn't know if he was going to be back. You, Mark, and I'm very lucky
No, I'm very grateful you. Thank you for inviting me on, by the way. I really enjoyed tonight.
No, you're always welcome, mate. People can, and Dave will agree with this. People can make assumptions about things, and they can speculate on things, but they don't know behind the scenes the stuff that actually goes on, and the people behind the face on the telly.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there's times when I've had arguments with people on YouTube. They'll come in and criticise me. Before I block them or have a go at them, I do actually try to get them round to my way of thinking. And I've done it on a couple of times. It was that bloke, June, that we had problems with, and then we got him on our side. Midnight Toker. And he gave us so much shit, and in the end, he was on our side. And we don't know where he's gone. All of a sudden, he's just disappeared. And we often say, where's Midnight Toker?
Yeah.
And it's sad because we don't know where he is. And we know he was in a hard place at a certain time. Before lockdown, he was terrified of what was happening. And we don't know where he is. And sometimes we do say, we ask, I mean, Midnight Toker might be watching now. If you're there, mate, just fucking say hello. Yeah, I like to try and win people over before I block them.
The biggest problem you have, and I think this is not just in this environment, it's in a text message, it's in any written thing. So when you type something and there's no inflection, there's no emotion, there's nothing.
It gets lost.
And he gets lost. So Benjamin here, so I'll put that on the screen because I almost blocked Benjamin the other week for something that I thought I'd taken.
I remember that one. Yeah,
I'd taken that in the wrong way, and he's like, "No, I haven't meant it like that." And the trouble is, when you see text has no emotion, it has no inflection, it has nothing. So the immediate, sometimes the immediate thing is to whack, and that's not always the right place to be. Benjamin,
I remember seeing that Benjamin one, and I was saying he ain't done anything wrong. And but you see it, and when you're on there, you see wanker, don't you? And I'm thinking, oh fuck, Benjamin's not really said anything wrong. So,
and I usually have Wanda scouting the comments for me. I haven't done that tonight. I've got my own laptop here, so I'm scouting the comments here, and I get a bit of negative from arseholes and people that want to attack me. I'm going to be very, very thankful tonight that we haven't had any of that tonight.
No, I was going to say, it's been great, isn't it? There hasn't been any. Nice. Yeah, I tend not to get any on mine. I know I'm only piddly, but I tend to get 99.9 of my lives. I've never had any issues ever.
There's one person I should have blocked.
But I'm only small. Obviously, I got a couple hundred subscribers, so it's like
there's no such There's no such thing as small. There's no such thing. Well, what I really hate, and I know Dave will agree with this.
Speck of moon dust, I call myself.
No, I've always someone that I would love Dean to come on tonight because Dean taught me this was, and I know Dave agrees with this, is that you reach down to help people up. So Dave is always been like. Dean's a twat, yeah, he is. But he taught me to reach down and help other YouTubers. So I share other YouTubers' channels.
You do Dave, all the time, yeah.
Our channel enormously, and me as a friend, and Chris, and I've always taken that on board. And there are not enough people at that level that do that, and it winds me up.
Dave's done that with mine. I can tell from when I look at viewing figures very rarely, but I know occasionally that maybe he's shared on some of his platforms and I get a little bit more out of it. And I know where it's come from. I did it with Sharp. I thought I should get involved in sharing, and he was on like 90 something, and I thought, let's get him to 100. But I know me broadcasting was never going to get him to 100. But I think I got him 3 subscribers. But then I mentioned it on the live, and then he got a couple more as well. So But
I've always been someone, and I know Dave touched on this.
Sharp stuff.
I know we're almost
never touched you.
Not knowingly.
Did touch me. at the wedding.
Wasn't that a Patsy Kensit song? Touch Me.
But I know Dave agrees with this because Dave said in the video that he kindly sent me for his 150,000 subscriber thing that he's always gone on to help people and he's never wanted anything in response to that. And I've always been the same. Sometimes it drives one to wild saying, but no one ever gives anything back to you. I'm like, but that makes me me.
Yeah. Well, you should never give anything to expect anything in return.
No, exactly.
But it is. I mean, everyone does like to get something. We're all human. It's nice to get a little bit of recognition every now and then.
I get from this. I get people that I can rely on. I know I can rely on Dave. I can rely on you. I can rely on Dean. I can rely on Chris. I know that at that point I'm good.
Yeah.
And on that
Bombshell.
I'm thinking like,
yeah, you've gone over the 7 minutes.
Yeah, I'm thinking
as
like,
well.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching,
good.
everybody. Thank you for all the super chats you didn't fucking give.
fuck 'em.
Oh yeah,
I
you
don't-
didn't get any
I don't-
super chats.
Don't do it for
You
money.
didn't get any super chats, you know.
Well, I don't
Right,
worry.
well, I'm going for a fag in the garden. What's she got? Oh, he's going to stuff his face full of fucking chocolate now, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm going to end the stream.
Okay.
I'm going to say thank you to this guy here, Dave. Thank you for everything you do for us, me, and Wanda. This guy here, Mark. If you don't subscribe to Mark the Pondering Man, go and give him some love. And we'll see you all very soon. Have a good
Cheers,
week.
folks. Enjoyed that. Bye.
Bye. Bye.